All right, so I want to have a conversation with y'all about like heartbreaking relationships and stuff because I was talking to my friend about it the other night when we was driving. Just one of them late night talks that you be having, and I had the conversation with him, and it was such a good conversation. I was like, dang, I should look you probably make a video about it and just talk to other people because I know in the past there's a lot of people in my own personal life I know who went through heartbreak, and it kind of like really messes with a lot of people. Not everyone's able to just bounce back from that, something like that. Especially like if you really deep in. Now, me personally, I've never been in love or nothing like that, so the advice I might give might seem, pick bits. You gotta take bits and pieces off of it, but I think the overall message is still good. But I'm gonna just get straight into it. I ain't gonna waste too much time, but yeah, my friend. I'm not gonna air his business out, but just for the sake of the story, I'll give you a little bit of context. He was talking to a girl he was really rocking with for a minute, but a whole bunch of stuff came up with her side of the family and all this, and it just didn't work out, right? Long story short, it didn't work out. But I was explaining to him that's people's problem. Kind of is like love is a kind of thing where it'll always be there. Like you can have love for somebody, and you can still respect them as a person, but you need to be able to understand that codependency is not a way you should want to live, right? And you can depend on people, you can want to have them around you, and you can love someone so much and want to be with them every day. That's completely fine. You can have all those feelings, but your life and your entire world should not revolve around that person entirely. Like, you can do everything for them, but them leaving or something happening and y'all getting into a disagreement, whatever the case may be, your life has to still continue. Y'all are conjoined and become one with that love, but that doesn't mean that you have to give everything you already have up. You know what I mean? It just adds to you. So what most people do when they get in love or when they find that significant other, instead of having them add to them, they take away from themselves to the other person. So like two people can add, but it should never be anything. Nothing should ever be lost. Like nothing should be lost. You shouldn't lose nothing. But some people give so much that they're not leaving nothing for themselves. And once that person then leaves, they've taken what you've given them with them. And now you feel like you have nothing because you gave them your everything, which is nice, which is good. But you have to have that comfort in just knowing I love you, I care for you. But in the event you leave or something just doesn't work out, the world continues. And that's not to say you're not going to feel some type of way and you can just get over it. I'm not saying that. Obviously, you're going to be hurt for a little minute for sure. But just sitting in that hurt and sitting in that feeling of pain is never going to really benefit you. And like I said, I've never been in love, so I'm just kind of going off the top here from how experiences are, from what I can see myself doing. And I kind of do have a barrier up myself when it comes to that kind of stuff off the rip, just because of what I've seen and how it affects other people, of how bad the effects really are. It's like it affects this person this badly to the point where they literally, I don't want to, you can't say certain words on YouTube, but it's just like some people be really ready to go down that path over another person, and to get to that level of love, I think is actually kind of admirable. I think it's a blessing to be able to love someone that much that you just can't see a life without them. And I honestly think to a degree, if you don't ever really open up, you'll never be able to have that form of love. Because myself, as an example, I think why I've never been in love per se, or like had really, really strong feelings for somebody, is because that barrier. So like, I'm giving you a part of me, but I'm keeping some for myself. Some people don't know how to do that, and they just give everything they have to their other significant other, which sounds good on paper, but it's kind of selfish to yourself because you matter as much as they do, and of course you care about them. But we tend to put others over ourselves so much in today's society that it can be unhealthy for ourselves. And I think a healthy relationship is mutual, right? And then most people, they're giving to someone who's not giving nothing in return, and those are the worst type of relationships. If you're gonna love somebody unconditionally, it should at least be mutual, right? It should not be a one-way love street, and you shouldn't have to try to convince them to love you. If they don't, then they just don't, and they're not for you, sadly. That's a sad reality, and you have to understand walking away is very powerful, especially in today's age and society. All that, walking away is very powerful. If you can't walk away from nothing in life, you're never going to prosper or benefit, because most of the time walking away is the only option you have, and it's the only reasonable explanation for most things that just aren't meant to be. It's easier to walk away in that moment. Well, it's harder to walk away in the moment, but it's better for you because you save so much more of the already heart pain that you're probably feeling. Staying in a relationship that's not healthy for you, instead of just leaving it, hurts you more, because now you have to stay around and watch the significant other you love treat you worse. So learn to love yourself. Loving others is good, but understand that you should not fully ever depend on any single person. And I don't know if that's a defense mechanism. Like I said, I have barriers. I'm going to keep reinforcing that because it's true. I have barriers. But I think at the same time, I can... It's much easier for me to care about you. Well, this is my opinion, by the way. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I think personally it's rationalized to make more sense this way. But I would personally rather be a person who can't love fully with all of my heart to the point where like my whole world destroys if you leave me. I'd rather be a person to that degree. I still love you, still care for you, everything. I've never been in love, but I can still have feelings for somebody, right? And they can leave and everything can just go back to normal, and I'll be hurt, but my life doesn't end. Versus being someone who does have that compassion, that caring, they're super loving on you, and they do everything for you, and they want to be with you 24/7. They can't see war without you. Like, that type of affection is really good to be able to give somebody, but you lose so much more after doing that, because in the event it doesn't work, or not even the fact that it doesn't work in general, but it's just not healthy to yourself to put so much more energy into someone else other than yourself. Which sounds selfish, but I'm telling y'all, you have to really listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying not to, right? It doesn't have to be two crazy spectrums where you're loving everybody and then just not loving at all. You can find a middle ground. You shouldn't really put another human that much higher above you, because anyways, Christ himself comes first more than that. So I think you guys should work on finding love. I don't want to preach to nobody to not find love. I'm working on that myself. I want to find my significant other as well. I don't want to just not be in a relationship or not have a partner to concede in or confide in, whatever the word is. I want that for myself. But I'm just letting y'all know, in terms of heartbreak, in terms of your own feelings and how other people are, for your own safety, you have to learn to be okay with them walking away, or with walking away yourself, because not everything's meant to be. And in the event it isn't, if you're giving your all, which you can if you want to, I'm not telling you not to give your all, just understand that regardless of the situation, you have to be able to walk away from it. Don't let that love, don't let that heartbreak stay, don't let that love, and don't let that blindside you, and don't let the feelings you feel now blindside your future. Most people get over their heartbreak, but still mentally in their head, I still love them. Love doesn't subside. I'm not saying it should, right? If you're in a relationship with somebody for so long, you'll always have that memories, those feelings. But don't let that be the reason that what keeps you stuck and what keeps you from finding something better or something else that could be even more potentially beneficial to you or your life or in any other situation. But like I said, this is all advice from someone who's never truly ever been in love. So you can pick to take away what you want from this video. But the main point I want to get across from y'all, and the conversation I had with my friend, was that love is a thing you have to understand to be able to walk away from it. And I think, if anything, that shows the greatest amount of love for self-respect, love of yourself, as well as your significant other, because you're not going to you love them enough to walk away. You love them enough to let them go, as they say. But that's pretty much it. I'm not going to make this video too long. I don't know why I'm giving relationship advice. That's crazy. But yeah, if you guys appreciate, if you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe. I go live on Twitch. Links in the bottom description. You want to follow me there. Appreciate you guys again. Stay safe, stay blessed. Keep guiding guys' lives. I'll catch you guys next upload.